Hey guys, right, hopefully I've got everything working. Yeah. Oh, I can hear myself, turn that down. Who've we got? Yeah, Isaac Crack, Hammock, Steps, Uni64, Colt 45 for I. Welcome guys. So it's going to be a grab bag tonight, so instead of looking at one game in particular, we're going to look at some demos. I've got 3 demos to look at. And then if anybody's got any suggestions as we go along, we'll have a look at some games as well. I don't actually know why I've got the Sublime open. I don't really need it, but I'll leave it open anyway in case we want to have a look at some stuff. So I thought we'd start by taking a look at a demo. I think it's... I always get mixed up. It's Sackrack, I think. Sackrack is Carl, right? In the Discord. You guys with your different names on Discord and Twitch confuse me. My poor addling brain. So we're going to have a look at Carl's demo first, Sackrack's demo. So let's start. Let's just take a look at it first. Let's. Apparently there's a hidden part in this. I don't know where it is or how to get to it. So maybe I might not see. I didn't know who I was. Okay. Yeah, so we'll take a look at it first. Let me just make sure I got the sound on. Yeah, I have. Alright. Actually, just pause it a second, because I'll also need to turn the sound on in here so you can actually hear it. And that other music down. Let me know if that's... Ah, okay. Hold left, down and fire on joystick and port 2 when running. Okay, we'll do that in a second. Okay, hold left, down and fire on joystick and port 2 when running. Okay, we'll do that in a second. Evening on ladies. Hi Andy. I think it'll be a relatively short stream tonight. I'm probably not going to go past 12 o'clock. I'm feeling quite tired today. Need to save all my energy for the weekend. It's really cool this, so I like it. A nice use of splits and cool scroller as well. Ah yes, let me... I don't know if that's going to work. I really like this bit as well. I'm intrigued how you've done this. I've got some ideas, but I want to take a look at it, obviously. Seems better. Okay, cool. Because I got my desktop audio turned on, so just going to double check that I don't have my my mic audio coming through. That should be better. That should be alright now, I think. Was it me that was echoing? That should be alright. Ah, okay. Was it me that was echoing? Ah, okay. Yeah, it's nice. I like that as well, that fade in, that's nice. I like that as well, that fade in, that's nice. Oh, I know what it is. Yeah, I have my Twitch on in the background, that's why. Okay, so let's try and load up the... What was it again? Left down and fire on joystick port 2, okay. Left down, fire. Ah. Or was that the end of it? And that was the end of it. Let me run it again. Make sure my joystick settings are on. Joystick settings. Key set A is joystick 2. And that's okay. I should be able to do that. Try again. I don't know why it's not working. Oh, missed it. When have I got to do it then? Hold it down right at the beginning. Do it again. Aha! Oh, that's a nice DYCP as well. Wow, that's some good range on that. That's cool. That's hard to read. Cool. I like the colors as well. I'm guessing you've just set the color RAM there. No need to scroll it because the text scrolls through it anyway. So wow, 6K of text. Cool. A nice effect though. So and it's a nice DYCP. Looks like you've got some horizontal spacing as well, which is nice. I don't know if that's just natural because of the height. I think it might be actually. Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah. 6 color RAM. Yeah. It's cool. All right. Well, let's open it up in the debugger and take a peek at it. Let's open that up. Close Vice down in the background. God, and already it's crashed on me. Oh, we had a mouse control to it. Well, let's see if we can start by activating the secret bit first. No, missed it. I don't think my joystick control works very well in debugger. Let's try with the... Thought I changed the keys, but apparently not. Let's try again. Yeah, it's probably going to be a pain to do in the debugger. Okay, so this is a nice effect as well, this dithering effect. I've never actually, I'm guessing this is bitmap. I've never actually done anything like this. Oh no, it is bitmap, okay. With sprites. Ah, okay, that explains the effect then. Ah, clever, okay. I'm guessing you have a couple of different sprites for each section. ECM and sprites. Ah, okay. Oh yeah, you've got extended background color mode on the bottom there. So you get the high res kind of dithering, which is nice. Hi Hayes, welcome to the stream. We're taking a look at some demo effects tonight. So this is a demo that Sackrack did for is it Zoo Party, I think. We're just gonna have a look at that, but that's nice. I like that effect. So So he's using extended color background mode there, which allows you to change the background color individually for each square. It limits how many characters you can have to 64, but for this it's absolutely perfect. So I guess the sprite is actually the black area. So there's this this cover here, which I'm guessing is animating through some characters. If we have a look at the character set, do I get the character set? Yep, there we go. Yeah, so you can see there's some dither patterns at the top here, which are being animated through this block. So in this block here, the dither pattern's been animated through it, along with the colored. I imagine I can see what happens when. Yeah, so there's a color shift as well using the ECM mode. And ECM allows you to have high-res graphics, but still have two unique colors in each block. So instead of just the background and then a common background color and a common background color and then unique foreground colors, ECM mode lets you have a unique background color and a unique foreground for each area. So it achieves this nice high-res dither. And then it looks like he's using high-res sprites to create a black overlay to cut out the negative space, basically, to create the characters, and then a multiplexer to plex 4 lines of sprites in. It's a nice effect. I like it. So you can see there how it works. I'm just going to restart because that's really interesting to watch actually in this mode. If you watch down here, you'll see if I just move the arrow down here, you can see how it's being animated through, and then the sprites overlaid to cut out the negative space. Nice effect. I like that one. So this one, I had some ideas how this was done, and it's not actually what I thought it was, interestingly. Oh no, it is. Okay, so the letters on the trains are sprites. I assumed these were sprites as well, as they would be. So these tiles as they're revealed, they're characters once they've been revealed, but until they're revealed, they're sprites that animate in. Then there's some color splits to create the different bands of color: grey, black, and the blue. And then the trains that go past, character animations, but with some sprites stuck onto the trains. Create the text. And then some nice sprite animations in here as well. Did you do the art for this as well, Sakrat? Really nice. Really need to up my art game. Okay, so this. Okay, I'm trying to make head or tail of what's going on here. So let's have a look at it in the top here. Okay, so missed that. Let's go back. So that looked like a combination of different speed character scroll animations with some sprites overlaid on it as well to create a bit more depth to it. These reset properly. Come on, why are you not resetting? There we go. That's also a nice effect, that reveal here as well. That's my favorite effect so far, is this ECM gradient. Interesting, you have another sprite underneath. What is this second sprite for here. Ah, 24 pixels, I see. Oh yeah, of course, because you're using... Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, because you're using 3 rows of characters for the tiles, and unfortunately sprites are only 21 high. Which, yeah, it was a strange choice, I think. Okay, yeah, so this is what I thought. This is a couple of rows of character animations with each row moving at a slightly different speed, and then sprites overlaid to create the extra depth there as well. Which looks like this on here. It looks really nice as well. So again, this looks like another dithering thing using a char set. I don't see any sprites in here. This sprite data is all sort of like code or some other char data. Yeah, 21 lines to get it under 64 bytes. I'd have preferred it though if they'd have gone with 16 by 16 and then done it in 32. So this is just full screen char animation. Yeah, that's what I thought. It looks like you've got kind of dithering char sets in here. There we go. Yeah, so, and I'm guessing this char set isn't changing, it's just the mapping to the screen that's changing, or is it that's changing? Yeah, okay, the char set's staying the same, you're just changing map. And I'm guessing what you're doing there is you're only drawing the things that have changed and not everything else. Although it is, you can draw a full screen in that time. Hi, some rebels, welcome to the stream. Oh, thank you for the follow, by the way, guys. I've turned all my sound off, so now I can't actually hear the alert, so I have to keep an eye on that. Thank you, McGeezer75, and thank you, Azam Rebels, for this for the follows, and welcome to the stream, guys. Okay, let's go back. So maybe Sakrat can confirm here. I don't know if you're doing a full screen refresh every update, or if you're just changing what's actually changed. Okay, this is the one I wanted to see. Welcome back to the stream, Vittorio. Nice to see you again. Just changing screen pointers. Okay, so you're doing multiple frames, so you're updating the screen ahead of time. So it's kind of like a double buffer, but I guess you're using more than one. Fade in the char set. Okay. Some really nice effects in this. I like it. So before we switch over to the screen, I was trying to think about what is going on here. So but when I first saw it, in this state, before the characters started melding together, I thought this is just sprites. It's just a very tight sprite multiplexer with maybe 2 rows of balls drawn to sprites each frame. But when it starts doing the twists and stuff, there's far too much overlap for that. So I was thinking maybe this was software sprites. In fact, I know it is now because Sakrat's kind of confirmed that. So let's go and have a look. I know it is sprites as well. Okay, interesting. So there are some sprites. All right, I want to see this running. So it's a combination of sprites and software sprites. Okay, cool. Let's have a look at the char set. There's a char set. Oh my god, I still can't get these buttons right. There we go. Oh no, hang on. Is this... Oh, it's because I'm in the top here. If I... Yeah, there we go. Okay. I see. So by using both software sprites and sprites, you can kind of increase the performance a little bit over just using software sprites. and give yourself technically more sprites. Hence why you can probably see this split here, because we've paused it as the raster's updating it. Actually, it wouldn't matter if that was sprites or... Yeah. Amiga75, welcome to the stream. Oh, you're the guy that did the Rygar. It looks very cool. And yes, you should come over to the C64. I saw the F keys till something happens. Yeah, that's kind of it's kind of my approach to using the debugger at the moment. I did have a printout. Somebody posted a list of all the keys, and I did print them out. I do have them in the manual as well. Can't you do it only with software sprites? I would suspect that would be quite a lot of work to do with just software sprites. It makes sense to use 8 of the sprites if you can, just to give yourself just to give yourself a little bit of leeway with it, because each character here is, I mean, what, this is 3, 6, 8, 12 here. So as long as you either draw the first 8 or the last 8 with sprites. I'm guessing what you're doing, Sackrack, is probably the first you draw. Well, it looks like you're drawing from right to left, so you're probably setting the first 8 sprites based on real hardware sprites, and then switching over to software sprites for the rest. Because the number would be variable, so I would imagine it makes sense to do the hardware sprites first and then switch over. It's a nice effect. I want to see the memory map as well, because there must be some nice kind of tables. Yeah, so this is, I'm guessing this is the kind of animation, the pattern tables that control all the kind of the paths that the balls go along. So what this? Oh, okay, yeah, and you've got the code for it at the beginning here. Okay, let's go and have a look at that. Oh, this is unrolled code. Look, there we go. So this isn't the tables, it's just unrolled speed code. Lots of store accumulators. Interesting. No, McGeezer, this is the clear code. Yes, that would make sense, hence why the store accumulators everywhere. This is C64 Debugger. So on a Thursday on stream, I take usually I take a game suggestion from someone, and we look at how that game's been implemented, and we use the debugger to investigate kind of memory maps and you know, sprite layouts and how the rasters work and on different screens, and we can look at the code, and we can look at the memory map and see what's going on, as well as kind of being able to zoom in on any piece of the memory and see what values are being set and whether they're being read to or written. But tonight we're doing a kind of effects grab bag where we're just grabbing some demos and taking a look at them and seeing how they work. Okay, so yeah, this makes sense that this would be clear code. So this is speed code for clearing what I imagine is the screen for this area here, which we can check if we have a look at the screen. So 5C100, I'm guessing there is 2 buffers in here. Run that. Oh no, it's not. It's the char set. You're clearing the char set. Okay. So it's the char set that updates here rather than the. Let's put this over here. Yeah. Okay. So it's a char set clearing function here. Oops. Cool. Let's pause again. Pausing it because I don't want to go back to one screen 4 char sets. Okay, yeah. That's cool. So are you running this on alternate frames, or I'm guessing this is, let me see, how would you, if you're using 4 char sets? Yeah, I'm guessing you're staggering it between the 4, aren't you? So drawing as fast as you can. Yeah, okay. It's cool. I like it. I'm always jealous when I see speed code, because as a game developer, as we know when we've been doing the stream, you're kind of limited to how often you can use speed code, but you can get some really nice benefits from it. So on Saturday, I've been thinking about the scroller for the game on Saturday, and that's going to be unrolled speed code, I think, just because there isn't a memory limit on this game, and I think we'd be incredibly lucky to fill 64 kilobytes with content over the course of 12 hours. So I thought it makes sense to just unroll the scrolling code completely into memory. So if one frame is slower, the next couple of frames might cancel. Speed code is generated in code to save memory. Okay, so Alex Sweden. I do use speed code to code speed code. $16K games do introduce the ability to kind of do that sort of thing as well. So, I mean, I did it a little bit in doc, but the Neutron that Sarah Jane Avery did is absolutely full of that sort of stuff. So you'll see that the scroller used in Neutron is fully unrolled scrolling code, but it generated at runtime from the 16-bit from the 16 kilobyte PRG file. So when it runs, the first thing it does is it generates that scrolling code, which allows it to fill up way more than the 16 kilobytes. What time am I starting this coding stream on site? I'm gonna start at 5 p.m. Yeah, it will be about 5 p.m. It may be a couple of minutes, maybe like quarter past or so, but round about 5 p.m. we'll be starting that. I'm really looking forward to it, actually. I've got Monsters Go Boom did some amazing sprites. When was it? Was it today? No, it was yesterday on Discord. So I'm going to have a go at animating some of those and maybe creating some in the same style tomorrow. So we've got assets ready for it. I believe Steps is working quite well towards getting some music and sound effects ready for the game. And I've done some basic background assets, which will be enough to kind of get us going on it. So yeah, looking forward to it. It's going to be good. All right, let's continue on a little bit. Well, actually, no, let's have a look at this code. So, okay, so actually, without the context of what's in these C5s, I don't really know what's going on here, but I'm guessing this is... Oh, this is speed code as well. So it looks like these values here are the mask and the and the ball data, but unrolled, so it's doing it without having to kind of do a loop. The only looping that's happening is through the char set data. So this will be a char set lookup. The and here will be the mask. Yeah, it's current screen byte. Okay. And C7 looks like it might be. So either C5 or C7 is that okay? But yeah, it's unrolled again to make it fast, which is nice. And then C9 as well. Okay, so it's just a really optimized unrolled loop using indirect indexed addressing. So C7 is next chart. Okay, yeah. I looking at the game code from the weekend, I kind of want to optimize the soft sprite again a little bit more. I'm not happy with its performance. It's probably just about all right, but I feel like we could probably shave 30-40% of the cycle time off that. It's not really. I mean, every time I've gone to do it, I've been drunk, so it's been difficult to really kind of look into it and find a better way of doing it. So I may do a bit of optimization on that at some point in one of the upcoming streams. All right, let's continue this on a little bit. It's a really nice effect. That so. Where are the look? Is this your lookup tables for the? Hang on, no, that's writing. So that's the character set. This is the clearing. This down here. Yeah, this is how you learn to make even cooler stuff. And McGeezer, I completely agree. What I've discovered doing these streams on Saturdays is that I definitely improve my code when I'm drunk. What I don't improve is my maths. My math skills plummet, but my coding skills improve. I don't know why that is. Yeah, I was just trying to see if I could see those tables. Sometimes, especially when you're using kind of sine waves like that, you can sometimes see them in memory, but it depends on the width of the table as well. I suspect it's this down here. You look at this, these values seem to kind of wave up and down, and they do seem to be being read as it's moving. You see, I suspect it's these values down here that are the tables. Optimization jump to tequila, yeah. Commit to more potatoes for bit offsite, okay. Maybe one day. Oh, that's a nice effect like that. Maybe one day I'll do a demo. But the thing is, I wouldn't want to do a demo without having a decent artist to work with, a decent musician to work with. So, are you sure I just aren't proud of what I did? Well, this weekend, last weekend even, we did the scoring routine, if you remember, and wrote the original routine, and then I went for a little break, and during the break I came back and I had a much better way of doing it that reduced the code down to like a third of the size and was way more efficient and way more practical. And the only difference between before I did that routine and after it was I'd drunk more alcohol, so I don't know. And it seems like the impediment of being drunk doesn't seem to impair my ability to look at code. I can still find things. So yeah, it's strange. I mean, it's a pretty pointless superpower to have, isn't it? Really, if you can call it that. Yeah. So these are definitely the tables. You can see how they're being read. This is the clear routine happening. So there's one clear routine for each buffer, it looks like here. There's some unpacking going on, so you'll notice something unpacks into memory here. I'm guessing once each message is kind of finished, it goes on. It unpacks the next one, or the next kind of unrolled code into memory. So I was assuming this was probably sprites, but when I was looking at it, I was thinking, actually, this is a little bit more. But I guess if you don't think of each sprite as a letter, if you think of it as just a block of pixels, then you don't necessarily have to have one letter to each sprite. So I think this is sprites, but let's take a look. Yeah, I thought so. I mean, it has to be really because it's scrolling over this bitmap. So yeah, so it's a block of eight sprites moving up the screen, using multiplexers to split it into each row. A nice effect going on down here. I'm guessing you've got some kind of table of character data which allows you to draw these characters anyway, and possibly some dither data that you can overlay over the top of it as well. So let's have a look at memory again, see if we can find where that might be. This looks like the bitmap actually, potentially. Hi Martin64, welcome to the stream. That's from a source or location directly into the sprite data. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. So you've got two sources. You've got you've got your text source, and then you've got some mask data. And while you're masking, you can, instead of putting the text data directly into the sprite, you do the mask on it first. Although the mask looks consistent across it, so I'm guessing you don't have to look up a mask. It's probably just a value that you can mask each byte for. Although you're alternating rows by the looks of things. Each fourth row, everything is really fast. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, because you're missing out some rows. So when you're actually drawing this, you're just skipping some rows. Okay, cool. Again, though, nice effect. I like it, and same at the top as well. Yeah, it's really cool. I like it. I'm impressed. Like I say, I'd love to do a demo at some point. I guess I should. I guess I should try it one day. Just because I like trying to do things that I don't really get to. Oops, do I have a raw sprite view? Oops, let's pause. I like to do things that I don't get a chance to do in demos. You mean this mode? You can see all the sprites at once, or do you mean where is it? You mean this mode where you can see the actual sprites? So this one lets you see the sprites, or all the sprites in RAM. No, you would have to use this as well. So where are your sprites? Let's have a look. They're at 5,000. So the bank starts at 4,000. So if you go into memory here, you can kind of see them down the side here as you go through. It's not the best for looking at sprites. You're better off with the disassembler for that sort of stuff. I think there might be a way to do it in here, maybe. No, there isn't really a good way to do it. Have I found the secret part? I wouldn't say I found it. I would say that I was shown it. Let's load up the disassembler. Although the disassembler is not really going to work from this point. Let me load it up into into Vice. So I'll show you now how you can use the disassembler to investigate these things using Vice snapshots. I highly recommend using this infiltrator disassembler as well. I'd never really used a proper C64 disassembler before, and I can't remember who it was, but somebody mentioned it. So I took a look at it and absolutely love it now. You shout out laxity in the demo. Now I found out today, as you will see in one of the demos that we'll look at, there's a scener called Laxity, and I don't think he's related to the Laxity group. I think his name is just, his scene name is Laxity, and it looks like he's been around way longer than the Laxity group. So that was a little bit confusing. I was unsure whether or not I should even be looking at his this demo, and then I realised that there was no mention of the Laxity cracking group in there. Yeah, I think it's the musician, yeah. He's done a lot. He's been around a long time. I mean, looking at his history on CSDB, he's been around for a long time. Really nice stuff in this demo though, I like it. The group Kefren's had a member called Laxity. Okay. So just wait for this to go through, and then what we'll do is we'll take a snapshot in Vice and we can open it up in the debugger. One of the cool things about demos, and another reason I'd like to give it a try at some point, is you don't have to have everything loaded into memory at once. Although this is a single file, I'm assuming most of this is unpacked as it goes. So, and especially on the bigger demos, the multi-disc demos, it's all kind of stream loaded as it goes along. So you can use the entire 64K for one effect, and then unpack the next one, and so on and so on. It's an impressive size, actually. It's 35 kilobytes crunch, this thing, so that's pretty good, man. Did you do multiple crunches on it, or is it just a single packer that you're using? Okay, here we go. So let's save a snapshot. Click Rebels. I feel like I'm about to say yes for X Party. As I say, I think I would like to do demos, but a demo, maybe not demos, but I would like to do something like that. But I'd want to do it with a proper artist. I wouldn't want to do it on my own. It would just be weird to try and to do that, and music as well, and maybe even work with other coders on it, because I don't. While I've got the kind of knowledge for doing games, I don't really have the knowledge for doing everything in demos. So I'd like someone to hold my hand if I was to do that. Okay, let's open this snapshot. Let's go in here. Also, I've got so many things that I'm doing at the moment. It's kind of difficult to fit it all in. Okay, so once you've got that unpacked in Infiltrator, you've got this SPR which allows you to open the sprites. They were at 4,000. I'm not seeing anything. Oh, that might be the screen data actually. There we go. Why am I only seeing? Okay. Oh, I guess these are built on the fly then. So somewhere in memory there is, it looks like here actually, is the letters that form. Looks like it is anyway. It looks like 8,000 onwards is the alphabet that makes it up. Okay, whoops, I'll open the Hex Editor. Let's skip it on a little bit. Oh, I've got to the reset point, haven't I? Okay, load snapshot. Okay, let's get a good old screen full of text on here. That'll do. Snapshot, save snapshot image. So it looks like the sprite banks are updated on the fly. Well, of course they must be. Otherwise you wouldn't be able to store all these anyway. So it looks like this 8,000 is the location of the font, judging by the kind of patterns that I'm seeing there. I mean, I'm just guessing, but it looks like it is the font data, which makes sense because it's outside of the Vic bank. You wouldn't want to use the space in the Vic bank to use data that didn't have to be in there. And then the sprites are in here. Rows. Interestingly, there's a gap from 4800 right up to 5,000 here. Or maybe that's just a gap in the names. Clear rows. Okay, they were just clear rows. I want to see that data. I mean, how wide are those letters? Let's have a look. They look like they're 16 wide, maybe. No, maybe a bit less. In fact, it looks like they vary. It doesn't look like it's a mono-spaced font. I might be wrong. Oh, they are 16 by 16, so I am wrong. Fair enough. I don't think there's an easy way of seeing that in here. Yeah, there isn't an easy way of seeing that, unfortunately. This is just going to show me character sets. Yeah, this is not going to help at all. So there are other tools out there as well that will let you load in fonts. In fact, I think Charpad will probably let you see those characters. But yeah, look, this is the dithering that's happening, like the masking. So as it's being copied into these sprite banks, this mask is being applied just on this row. And then I'm guessing when this row moves up to this row, the next row will have that dithering applied. And it conversely, when they reach the top, the same will happen with the top characters as well. Made that font 1991. Wow, cool. It's a nice font. I like it. I've always struggled to do the bigger fonts. To be honest, my font design isn't that great anyway. It's functional. It does the job. I'm not one for fancy fonts. I don't like fonts that are too fancy because they become hard to read. So small fonts that are fancy, I struggle to do because they're really difficult to read. Bigger fonts, I think you can get away with a bit more detail because they're a bit easier to kind of put detail into. Yeah, it's a nice font. Cool. Yeah, really cool. That Cracker. I like it. I want to see more. You got any more demos in the pipeline? Let's just catch up with the chat. Steps here for music, talent people for graphics. Yeah, maybe we should do that. Maybe when we've done the game, the Saturday game, we can do a demo. Maybe collaborate on something together as a group and release a demo. Is this references? Oh, is this the Amiga demos? Let's have a look at this. Oops. The Rebels 1989. Ah, okay, so this was an Amiga demo originally. So let's have a look at the Amiga demo then. Do I watch this on slightly bigger screen? There we go. No, no. There we go. Wow, you have been really faithful to it as well. Yeah, really faithful. I like it. Yeah, Bob said, yeah, amazing. The in fact, I can't remember who this demo that we're going to look at next is, but it's a very, very impressive demo. I fully don't expect to be able to figure out 90% of what's in there, but it's going to be interesting to look at anyway. It's called the next demo we're going to look at is called Unboxed. It's from last year, and it's a very impressive demo. Some really, really cool effects in there. You've actually got more going on in the background in your... Oh, there is a dancing guy there, actually. Oh, there's no others. Oh, okay. So you've got more screens going on as well. Oh, and another one as well. So Rebels was an old Amiga Demo group then. Oh. Amiga gets spoilt with all the bobs, doesn't it? Look at that. We can only dream of that kind of. And this is the same but from TV. That's the TV so unique demo competition. Oh, so it ended up on a TV show. Oh, I saw an ocean logo there as well. Oh, and you. Okay, I see. So it really is just kind of an homage to the old group's Amiga demos. Stop some of this sound. And the blue house as well. Oh, and it even had the secret behind it. Yeah, I agree, Amok. I think the level of creativity on the C64 is astounding, and the fact that the groups constantly try and find ways to push and push and push the hardware. I mean, we constantly see things that blow me away all the time. I think the demo scene is amazing, honestly. I think it's the best demo scene. I think the only other demo scene that comes close are like the PC 4K challenges that they do, where people write these incredible demos with like procedural music and procedural graphics in 4 kilobytes, and they look better than, you know, graphically than a lot of the games out there. Okay, I'm going to take a quick 2-minute break now. When I come back, we'll take a look at Unboxed. I'm just going to find out who Unboxed is by. I can't remember. I think it might be Crest. Oh, Bonsai. It has got music by Laxity of Maniacs and Noise, Bonsai, Drax of Crest, but the code is the demo is a Bonsai demo. Okay, but it's very, very impressive. So we'll take a look at that one next. All right, guys, I'm going to be back in 2 minutes, so I'll stick my B right back on and right back.